Hey
Hello?
everyone. Hello. Hi Epic.
Hi.
So thanks for coming. Welcome to my 97th live stream. Um, I saw your comment about redoing the live streams where there was no audio.
What?
Um, I remember seeing your comment from earlier about going back to days gone by and like some of the other ones where you guys couldn't really hear your voices in the live stream. So
Yeah. I suggested to redo Days Gone By because that stream was so bad with all the trolls and stuff, and do it in this format.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Um, all right. So, did you rewatch this? Oh, by the way, first off, hope you had a great July 4th.
I did have a good July 4th. I'm not in America, but I had a good one.
Okay. Um, all right. So, this episode, Internment. Um,
This episode is a special one.
I'm sorry, what?
This episode is special.
It is. It's Herschel's like not including season 9. It's his like second to last episode,
Uh,
and it's the last one
uh,
where he's like a main character. So.
if you've noticed, they don't really do that anymore, where they'll give characters like a standout episode before they get killed off. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, they kind of did it. They do it now where the episode where they die, they stand out. Like like Noah, um, or like Olivia, they give the characters just a little bit of time, and it's like right before their death. So yeah. Um, hold on. Let me see if I can invite Matt. I'll try to invite him or something. Um, hold on.
So would you say this is one of the best episodes of season 4?
Yeah, it's a good episode. Invite sir. Um, wait, which one am I trying to invite him to? Okay, that's just weird. Um, hold on. Sorry, sorry, Epic. I'm just trying to message Matt real quick. Um, so yeah, so this episode was really good. It's a good Herschel episode, and I know Rowdy and some other people did not like the flu storyline, but this is really where the flu storyline goes away. Like it's the last episode with the flu, and looking back on it, it's kind of sad how, if you think about it, this episode doesn't matter at all. Because like everyone pretty much dies, and then like Maggie, um, like yeah, Maggie is one of the few characters still left from. In fact, she might be like the only character from this episode that is still around in the show technically.
What about Daryl?
Daryl was in the episode just like at the very end. Like he came with the van, and the others with medicine stuff, but like you know what I mean? It's just like he only really did a cameo this episode.
N- Nah, I meant like Daryl. He was around during the flu arc.
Oh yeah, I meant this episode. I
Hmm.
meant like out of the characters that get screen time or are important this episode, they are all gone except for Maggie. Like you know what I mean? Like because she was gone for a while from the show, and then yeah, because we know what happens to Carl, Rick, Herschel, Glenn, Sasha. Uh, man,
And like I'll be honest, season 4 it's not my favorite season of the show, but this is a good episode.
I totally agree. Um, wonder where. Okay, so this episode, it's not perfect. It did have some problems, but there were some good moments in it. Obviously, you know, we have Rick coming back to the prison. We have him talking to Maggie about what he did with Carol, and we have the part where Maggie is trying to
Yeah,
keep the fence.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Uh, I just have to say my favorite moment in this episode probably has to do with Rick and Carl because it just demonstrates how grown up Carl is, and that's when they were shooting the walkers.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's just that it's a shame what happens to Carl 4 seasons later, you know, because like
Well, I agree, but that scene just shows how grown up he has become.
yeah, that's very true, and people still um like yeah, this was a good episode for Carl. He didn't have much development in this episode, but him helping his father with that herd on the fence, that was good. For his character, because obviously some people are, people were like, well, comic Carl was better, and it's like, well, this is a good moment for TV Carl too.
I do have to say I am a little bummed and kind of disappointed we never got Comic Carl in the show.
Yeah, me too.
Agreed. Everybody.
Hey, Walker Dead.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, not much. Trying to talk about. Okay, we're talking about Internment, season 4, episode 5, and how much we like the episode. But if we had some problems with it, which I mean, I guess you can say there were a couple. But I mean, this was a good episode for Herschel, and man, like, not only do I miss him in the show, but it's kind of crazy how like Maggie is really the only character that was focused on this episode that is still on the show. Because Daryl
Uh,
was only in it for like 2 seconds. So
me personally, I'd say the two best episodes from season 4 have to be Too Far Gone and this one.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's an okay episode, but I mean, to be honest, it should focus more on Carl and Maggie, if I'm being honest. If Daryl should have been there, like, with them, in my opinion.
Because, yeah, I said it before, season 4 as a whole, it's just not my favorite season of the show.
I mean, it's way better than season 3. I gotta admit that. I mean, at least season 4 didn't have the lack of problems season 3 did.
But, yeah, but season 4 is just not my favorite. It's just, it can be too slow for me sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, I like Too Far Gone. I think that was a pretty good episode. I love
Hey,
Rick and
Brian, how do
Sarah's.
you feel about my opinion?
I respect your opinion. I like the
No,
episode,
no,
things
I
like.
meant Brian, but
Ah,
um, can you repeat that, Epic?
what I was saying is the reason season 4 is my least favorite season, how slow it is.
Uh, yeah, it is kind of slow. The second half, honestly, my main problems are the second half with season 4. Like the flu stuff was okay, but the slowness, it was just really bad in the second half. I mean, my goodness.
yeah.
Um,
But,
okay,
internment, the first time I saw this episode, I kind of knew they were setting up Herschel to die because they were just spotlighting him so badly and so hardly in it.
yeah, I mean, I didn't think he was gonna get Tyrese's death, but I was thinking, I'm like, okay, this isn't up. We could be around the time where he's gonna die, and okay, so this episode, I guess you can say this is the episode where they just clean out on a lot of red shirts. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those, like the guy on the ground as Maggie's looking around. It's like it's just like, don't be a no-name character in this episode. Because like this is the episode where you just die from the flu, unless you're a main character. So, um,
I definitely agree. The only reason they added the flu storyline was to kill off the Woodbury red shirts.
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, I didn't hate the flu storyline, but it would have been way better if someone major from our group died from like the flu. Then it would be like, oh snap, that would be like, that would boost the story. Like, oh wow, this flu thing really that big a
Hey,
deal.
hey, hey, Brian.
Yeah.
That's got to be the only reason why they did the flu storyline was to wipe out the Woodbury residents.
I think so too, very likely. But then you have Too Far Gone, and some extras die in that episode too, and then you have that horrible scene in the second half where Maggie finds that's the stopped bus and it's full of walkers of people from the prison, and it's like, wait a minute, so now they finally want to get rid of all the red shirts, and it's like, yeah, like the first half and then a little bit in the second half, like yeah, it's, I mean, besides Herschel, like this season was just like get rid of the red shirts.
The red shirts from Woodbury.
Yeah, or the ones they found in the year time skip.
Because, like, yeah, like that's one thing that I've always been curious of is where did Lizzie and Mika come from? Where did Bob come from? Were they part of Woodbury? Were they just found on the road? Or
Yeah, I think Lizzie and Mika were part of Tyrese's old group because the wiki says they come from the same city in Florida. So I don't know. It's kind of I mean that's my theory. And um, Negan Loyalist 3 says, I guess you could say this was a sick episode. Who's wearing a red shirt? Um, I don't know. I'm wearing a blue shirt. Are you asking who is in the thumbnail? Because that's Maggie, and it doesn't really look red to me, but I don't know. Okay, so all right, yeah, I'll be honest, guys. Like this episode, I really thought Glenn might die in that scene of the episode towards the end where Glenn was dying. Like I really thought for a second he was gone. So I will say that this episode did keep me on my seat as far as that. And then we also did get people turning into walkers and coming back. But man, like I'm just thinking about this and I'm like, I mean, it's a prison, and it's like, and still yet you have, like, there are cell doors, and yet you still have Herschel getting attacked by like a dozen walkers. It's like, man, like this is the whole point of why they wanted to be in the prison. It's like I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, you think the cell doors would be perfect for this. You know what I mean? Like in this flu storyline. I don't know. Uh,
hey, Brian.
yeah.
Uh, you know when that scene when Rick and Herschel were talking, and then Rick says, "I gotta talk to you about Carol," and then it cuts to Herschel like being all like walking out sad like. Do you think he was sad about Carol or sad about something else?
Um, I don't know. Good question. I think. Let me think about this a little bit. I guess it's just one of those things where maybe he didn't know Carol was a person to do that, and then also like he was probably thinking he was never going to see her again. And I mean, yeah, that actually happens. He never does see her again because Herschel dies. Um, yeah, I think that's most likely the case. Just that he was surprised to find out that Carol could do something like that, and uh, believing that he would never see her again. So, um, all right. So, what else did you guys like about this episode? Because yeah, we had some good focus on Lizzie as well. Like she,
Here's another good question. Hey, Brian. Do you think Lizzie was faking being sick so that she could like just be in there because she's crazy, or was she actually sick?
I think she was sick. I mean, it doesn't make sense to pretend to be sick because like you have to have a fever and stuff. I mean, sure you can pretend to cough, but there's still the fever issue. Like if you have any sweating or fever, I think Lizzie was sick. She just was not as serious as the others. And Okay, so another character. Okay, so one character death we do get is the Doctor, and I never really understood this character. Like, so if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, it's the Indian Doctor. His name is
Dr. X.
Doctor S. Yeah, I never understood this because like literally, didn't they already have a Doctor S from Woodbury? You know, Doctor Stevens. You know that woman with the glasses. Like, I'm just thinking, and I'm like, why couldn't they just use that? I don't know. Is that just weird, guys? Like, they had one doctor in season 3 named Doctor S, Doctor Stevens, and then like in season 4, they have this doctor, and it's like, wait a minute, what? Like, you know what I mean? It just seems like similar, but also why is it different? Like, I don't understand why they couldn't use the doctor from season 3 because they use this new
Hey,
character.
hey,
And then
Brian.
in The Walking Dead season 5, there's another character named Bubba Stevens. Like, really?
I know what. That's just weird. Like how they just use a doctor every season. Like,
Hey, Brian.
yeah,
I just have to say that the comics kind of did it better because in the comics, after Rick and Michonne and Glenn escape from Woodbury, Doctor Stevens goes with them and betrays the governor, and then she gives birth to Judith, and then yeah, the comics did it better.
oh, you mean Alice?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was Doctor S, but it was also Alice. So I guess you can say those two characters were, you know what I mean? Like, I guess like the show didn't really do either of those characters, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But yeah,
I
I'll
mean, I
let.
expect.
Hey Dan,
What's up, dude?
hey man, thanks for coming. Oh wow, that artwork
uh,
is cool.
hey Dan.
Yeah, Epic.
I was talking about earlier how uh, they don't really do this anymore, but they used to like spotlight a character before they would die. They don't do that anymore.
Nah, they don't. I think it's just because they've killed so many characters at this point. What up?
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey guys, thanks for coming.
Because yeah, like this episode is a prime example where they put a spotlight on Herschel, and then Herschel died in the mid-season finale. Seasons 9 and 10, you don't see that anymore.
Yeah. After so many years, I think they just kind of like they've killed so many characters.
Hey Dan, so have you just curious, have you and Matt been listening to the stream? Like, have you guys already heard everything we said?
Nah, we were just chilling, and we both just kind of like showed up.
Okay.
But hey guys,
Yeah.
my opinion, like I'd say this is when that whole The Walking Dead killing Doctor theory started, but it didn't really kick it until like season 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, now in my opinion, that part was just ridiculous. Any point of that?
Yeah. Wait, I didn't do that right. Man, why isn't it working? Um, yeah, you guys know that doctor that was in this episode, right? Dr. S.
Yeah, the guy that's like his eyes were bleeding and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey Dan,
Yeah, Epic.
I was just mentioning it a few minutes ago how I feel the comics did it better. Where in the comics, after Rick, Glenn, Michonne escape from Woodbury, the Woodbury's doctor goes with them, and that leads to the birth of Judith. And I feel the comics did that better.
It did. Oh, the TV show is like barely existent. I'm gonna be honest. That character is like, I mean, they're fine, but yeah, in the comics they definitely did a lot more.
Yeah. I don't know why the picture won't post of the guy, you know. I'm just trying to help you guys remember who he is.
And like yeah, in the comics there was Dr. Alice and then Dr. Stevens, which was the kind of the older guy who gets killed by a walker. And then Alice goes with them to the prison, and then helps Lori give birth to Judith. I don't get why the show couldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, the
Well,
show never did Alice. It's weird.
Well, expect Dallas to appear in my Walking Dead reboot series. Because to be honest with you guys, I was a little disappointed when I found out they didn't decide to do her.
So Dan, how do you feel about Internment?
I like the episode personally. The only problem I have with this one, this is what I would say about this one. Like, as an episode, I actually really think it's good. The storyline with the flu, I still do not like. But the best part for me, there's two parts I really like. The part with Rick and Carl when they're out there and like killing the walkers with machine guns and stuff. I thought that was like high tense, like really like cool moment. And then obviously the best moment for me of the episode is the governor return.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I liked it that when the camera was panning out and you just see the governor there looking at Rick and Carl. I actually liked it that. I'm like, oh sugar.
Hey
This is
Dan.
set up and too far gone.
Hey Dan.
Epic. Yeah.
I mentioned this earlier, but my favorite moment was the scene where Rick and Carl were shooting the walkers because it just highlights just how grown up Carl has become.
Yeah. Well, in that moment when you see Carl like killing the walkers or whatever with the machine gun, like you literally see a scene where Rick is like looking at Carl and he's just like looking at him like killing all these walkers, and he's just like, man, like this is not like a kid anymore. This guy's like turning into a man. Like you can almost tell that's the look on Rick's face. That's like, yeah, this isn't like me trying to protect my kid anymore.
Yeah, this was a good TV moment for Carl because, like, we all know that comic Carl's better, but like this was a good scene for his character in terms of like maturing and holding his own. And it's a shame that it never kind of leads anywhere. But yeah,
One thing I have to say is that the comics are definitely way more darker than the show.
Yeah, that's because they can do more and they're not like, it's obviously AMC. Like people will freak out if they even like say like bad words on AMC, let alone like show some brutality. Where in the comics they don't straight. They honestly just, if they have an idea, it doesn't matter how brutal it is, they're gonna draw that thing.
Okay,
yeah,
because like comic Carl, he's one very damaged individual, and he literally beats another kid near death with a shovel.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Whereas the show, they didn't do that.
Nah,
Yeah.
on the show they on the show they had pathetic Henry. So yeah.
well,
I mean, in my opinion, they should have made Henry, less annoying at sometimes.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's as soon as they killed Carl on the show, I'm like, this is never going to be as good as the comics when it comes to like that whole storyline. And here we are now, like Henry's dead. Their really like failed attempt at trying to make a like second Carl, and then now Lydia's just there. I guess like it feels like they don't know what to do with her anymore.
yeah,
I feel like she's gonna die, Dan. I feel like if they're gonna kill off Lydia, it's gonna be in the first half of The Walking Dead season 11. Because if we're gonna kill that character off, just kill her off.
it's like
Stevie. I mean, to be honest with you guys, Lydia in the comics, I will say this straight up: Lydia in the comics was way better than Lydia in the show, because Lydia in the show was just this character that was just there.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I find it crazy how the Walking Dead show is literally the first property to literally scrap a comic book arc.
yeah, they do that.
I don't know
it was
why they
ridiculous.
scrapped Carl's comic whisperer arc.
Thanks, Gimple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gimple, screw you for doing that, because we needed that in the show, and guess what? Now we're never gonna get that. But look on the bright side, we're gonna get that in my Walking Dead reboot series.
It's like you see the comic. You see the comic. Carl beats two boys pretty much to death with a shovel, and then the show. How did they translate it? Oh, Henry takes one sip of alcohol and throws up off screen. Like that does not translate well. And it's just and also I found this funny. Like imagine the writers. This is how it is in the meeting room. Like imagine they somebody gives them emails about the fans being like, okay, when are they going to drop F-bombs? And then you have like the CEOs being like, no, we will never drop F-bombs. We are making family friendly television. Now, let's have this in this episode, let's have the kid get his face eaten. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just one of those things where it's like they can show that, but they can't do an F-bomb. It's just weird to me.
Yeah,
Hey
I know.
Brian. Hey Brian.
Yeah.
The scene in this episode where Herschel is like leading the walkers into that room and then he's like shotgunning them through the door. Did you think he would die there?
I didn't. I knew he was alive. I had a feeling.
But I mean, still, that scene was very intense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, did you guys notice how, earlier? This is one thing I liked about this episode. When Herschel was in trouble with the walkers, who saved him? Did you guys?
Sasha?
Kind of, but who saved him when he was pinned on the floor?
Lizzie?
Not really. Close. All these characters kind of helped, but okay. Do you guys just want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just say it because we don't even remember anyway.
It was the extras. The extras. Did you guys? Remember there was that blonde woman who came from the cell. She literally was grabbing the walker off of Herschel, and then a guy pulled a gun trying to help, and then he got bit and then shot the woman. Like, you guys remember all that?
Oh Lord, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that was chaotic.
I mean, it would have worked better if there was Sasha there. Like, like, holy shit, I just shot somebody. I mean, it would have been more realistic if it was Sasha there helping Herschel instead of just two random minor characters. I mean, I can understand it. I mean, in a way, I can understand because it's for the plot. But at the same time, you want it to be a recognizable face saving a character like Herschel.
Like, it's kind of crazy how Maggie is the only one left from this episode, and that Sasha, we know she dies 3 seasons from now.
Exactly. It's kind of a shame. Like, because like really Maggie is the only one from this episode that really gets story and that continues in the show. I guess what I was trying to say about the extras, I just think like when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, extras are actually doing something? Like, in the plot? Like, I mean, sure, it didn't help Herschel that much and they just died, but I'm like, I admit, like, I at least appreciate the, trying part. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have extras just watching from their cells being useless, like so many other extras in later seasons.
Season 5 Alexandrians.
Yes, and 6, and the 7 ones, and the 8 ones. Oh, just yeah. You guys know that one of the things that ticks me off in the show is the extras at times. Like, I'm just like, why do they stand around and do nothing?
Man, Hilltop is the worst example of that, though. And you just got like them, they're walking in. You got like, what is it, like 5 people walking around? I'm like, bro, when Rick kills that guy and everybody's staring at him, I'm like, bro, why are you even acknowledging them? You barely got a crowd in front of you.
I know. It would have been so much better if you had like dozens of people. Would have felt more real, but
yeah.
Okay. Like, hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Would you agree that this is a special episode, especially for Herschel?
Oh, it is. For me, it's his best episode just because we've never had an episode like that focused on him. He did save lives. At least he tried. So I don't know. It's for me, it's the best like last moments for him because let's be honest, episode 8, like, he's just a prisoner. But for this one, yeah, he did really darn good.
Yeah, and Dan, I told the guys earlier, I'm like, man, this is the cut down the extras episode.
It is. I do have to say though, another moment from Herschel I'm like thinking of too is when Daryl tells him he's tough and Herschel's like, I am. It's like, okay, yeah. I mean, you're right though, because the dude like saved a bunch of lives. So
I know,
Hey,
like
Yeah.
you just have Herschel being like I am tough, and then you just have the governor outside, and it just in his head, he just is thinking, I'm gonna end this whole man's career, like, and it's
I
like,
know.
hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's
Uh,
funny.
I mentioned earlier that like this episode and Too Far Gone are probably the best episodes in this season, even though the season as a whole is not my favorite.
I think season 4 is it's a whatever season. I don't like the flu storyline though, but an episode that I like, these are the episodes in season 4 I like, is Internment. I do like episode 7, the second governor episode. I like Too Far Gone. I like Claimed episode 11, and then I like 416, the finale. I like those.
Like yeah, a lot of like that second half was just so slow for me that I didn't like it.
It was. Plus, the one episode that like I've tried to go back on and I just can't is the Alone episode where you've got Bob and Maggie and Sasha. They just kept like splitting up the whole episode. I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Like this, I'm sorry, that screamed filler for me, that episode.
It
Oh,
is a
oh,
filler episode because all you have is Dasha, Maggie, and Bob there. There's no other characters but those three. And I'm like, bro, really? You're gonna have a filler episode in the second half after you just had a really good episode in the first half? Too far gone.
hey, speaking of filler episodes, still
oh, still,
Still is, yeah. That one, it's just to like fill things out. The only thing that pushes the story forward in a bit of a way is that, yeah, I guess you find out some backstory about Daryl, but it's like it's so minor.
yeah,
like yeah, like
Yep.
I understand why people say that still is a bad episode. I understand why.
Yeah.
Because it's just focused on Daryl and Beth.
Yeah, and I like Daryl. That's the thing though. Like I don't mind the general idea. It's just when you watch it, you're just like, okay, but couldn't we cut to other groups or something? Like, I don't know, see like Rick, Michonne, and Carl on their way to Terminus a little bit. Like jump around. Like, why are we so focused on like these two characters the whole time?
yeah,
Yeah, if I was doing the second half of season 4, I would have I would have like an episode with John and Beth, like those two together, like by themselves. But I would also have like other scenes like Tara and Glenn, or or uh Andrea and with Abraham's group, something of that. That's how I would do it in my Walking Dead reboot.
Hey guys, how did you feel about the end of this episode when like it panned and we saw the governor look at the prison with
The
the
best
ominous
moment.
music?
yeah. I was like, oh no, like
I'm
not
like,
you.
the governor, when I saw that moment, I'm like, the governor's here to save the season. Because I'm gonna be honest, I did not like the storyline.
I got hyped when the governor came back. I'm like, yes, this is what the hype has been building up. Too Far Gone is right around the corner, and I can't wait.
Well, like yeah, like it's cool seeing the governor at the end, but at the same time, we know what's going to happen to Herschel.
We lose two great characters in the story, like at the same time, obviously, because.
Yeah, Brian, I know this is off topic, but what did you think of the mid-season finale of season 2 of My Walking Dead Reboot?
Oh, really good episode. Had I don't know why I thought Herschel was back. There was that issue, like, like just one confusing moment, like, but besides that, like, it was really good. And I see how like Shane is like, I see him slowly start. We're seeing him slowly start to crack more, like how everyone is kind of turning on him, and
Yep.
after what happened, and it's like it's just gonna push him more. So yeah, I'm also really excited to see how the characters get out of that situation. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Mega Matt,
So
how did you feel about this episode?
it's decent.
Do you think it's like the best Herschel episode?
Uh, It's one of his best for sure.
So guys, I don't know if you were able to hear from earlier, but like Walker Dead and Epic and I were talking, and we're just like, the only big death this episode is Dr. S, which they didn't really flesh him out much, and then also I was just thinking, I'm like, man, like we never even found out where this character came from, if he was from Woodbury, because like we know he wasn't, I would say, because like we know Woodbury had a doctor, you know, so it's just, and obviously she wasn't in season 4, so we're like, okay, so who is this character?
Season 4's biggest problem is that they bring in all these characters that are just like they're just random. They bring them in, and then next thing you know, they talk. It's almost like a good example of that would be like what would be a good character? Yeah, like Carter. Like they just bring him in season 6, and they're just like, oh yeah, he was at Alexandria the whole time. Oh yeah, sure, he was there the whole time. Like honestly, I don't know if that's what they were trying to do with this guy. Like say that he came from Woodbury, but man, if that was their like goal, if that is what they were trying to do, man, they failed.
I totally agree, man.
God.
What, Matt? What's up?
God. They try to act like Scott's from Alexandria in season 5, but that dude wasn't even there in season 5.
Yeah, or
You know-
Keith and them.
Oh yeah, and sorry if this is off topic, but that latest Walking Dead supply drop box was again so bad. The urine pop was cool, but the fact that the urine pop was damaged, that's pathetic.
That is bad.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
I was cracking up. I'm like,
I'd seen the
wow,
box.
this is just sad.
Yeah,
Every
I'm not
time I
even.
see
You guys
the
know
box
I'm like
set-
obsessed with Funko Pops, but I'm gonna be honest. That the damage thing is one problem, but the pop. This is the problem that I have with it is that the hair on Aaron. They made it look in the preview pictures like it was like brown, like his like hair color, and then the Funko Pop, he's got like gray hair. Like I don't know, that just looks so weird.
Wait, it's gray? It looks like dark
Yeah, he's
brown.
got like gray hair.
I don't see it. Huh.
You know,
I'm
like,
just,
cause yeah, like all the people I've seen unbox that supply drop box, the urine pops were damaged. Like, what is that?
It's like, what's wrong with Aaron?
yeah. It's like, wait a minute. Is that Aaron? It's like, is that Ross or is that Chris Evans? When I'm looking at the pop, I'm like, because it looks like, you know, it's like, it looks like Captain America or something like that. You know what I mean? The new one when he had the beard.
You know, like, and I'm sorry, but you know, like that box was a Negan Lucille themed box. Why not put the season 10 Negan in that box?
They should have. But the good thing is that season 10 Negan's gonna be releasing to like all stores in the next like I think few months. So at least because I don't get the supply drop boxes just because I don't think they're worth the money. I'm gonna be honest.
You know, like yeah, from my experience, those boxes are just getting worse and worse and worse.
Agreed.
Hey guys, I talked with Epic a little. Do you guys think I should redo the live streams for the episodes where we don't hear, or you guys don't hear your voices? So like, I think it was like Days Gone By and like some of the others. Do you guys like want to maybe redo those streams and talk about those episodes we did before, where no one was able to hear us?
Well, like the reason I mentioned Days Gone By was just how bad that stream was with all the trolls and stuff, and
Oh,
you know, like how bad it was. But now the trolls are gone.
yeah, we could redo some episodes that had like really bad trolls. I mean, I'm totally for it if you guys are.
You know, like yeah, especially in this format with us chatting about it.
Yeah, and you can now hear us all on the streams too, which is good.
Yeah. I know this is okay. I'm getting off topic a little, but I'm seeing all these pictures in the Discord by Ken. So obviously, Ken, you're doing a great job. We have let's see, we have Daryl, Judith, Carol, Negan, Rosita, Aaron, Lydia, and then Maggie. And I'm just thinking, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. It's like, it's very true. It's the final season, but then again, we're thinking, well, what if they bring those characters into the movies? I mean, like, do we know 100% Maggie's not going to be in the final Rick movie? Or if Rosita, Aaron are going to be in the movies? Like, we know Negan and Daryl are going to get their own spin offs, but, like, what about those other characters that are going to stay in Alexandria?
Well, I mean,
I
there's
want Rosita to
characters
get
for
her own
sure.
spin-off.
That's the thing, is that it's like, honestly, I don't even think with the main show. Why did they say that? Why did they say Daryl and Carol have their own spinoff? Like, I know I go on about that a lot, but it's like, man, it's not that hard. Just say The Walking Dead's ending, yeah, but we're gonna have a spinoff on somebody from The Walking Dead after the main show is done. Like, you don't need to go broadcasting, oh, this person's safe, this person's safe. Oh yeah, Negan, he's safe. Like, it's so annoying.
Hey, Mega Matt.
Yo.
Would you?
What?
I think I forgot what I was gonna ask Mega Matt.
Gotcha.
That's right. Not if there's gonna be another character that's gonna get their own spinoff after The Walking Dead's over, I would have to say either Rosita or Negan, because Rosita and Negan, when it comes down to those two characters, they're definitely popular.
Wait, it can't be Rosita. It can't be Rosita because she has a baby.
Hey, Matt.
What's up?
Like, do you wonder, like, this is a Herschel Spotlight episode, and they don't really do that anymore. Like seasons 9, 10, they stopped doing that. Why do you think they stopped doing that?
Spotlight episodes?
Yeah, like they'll spotlight a character, and then a few episodes later they'll die or something.
To avoid the obvious when a character dies. That's why they probably stopped doing it.
In terms of like a character like spotlight episode, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, feel free to agree or disagree, but I think that's nothing but what 10C was. Honestly, like, you got a Maggie episode, you got a Daryl episode, a Gabriel episode, a Princess episode, a Carol episode, and a Negan episode. So, like, spotlight wise, man, 10C is like full of that.
But no deaths.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. There's no deaths this time around.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, like in the early seasons of The Walking Dead, like they'd spotlight a character, give them a lot of lines, and then a few episodes later they'd like die tragically or something. Whereas they really stopped doing that.
Yeah, well, honestly, like Matt said, like, it's probably to avoid the like just how obvious it is. Because honestly, if they kept doing that, it would just be to a point where it's like, okay, I know that character's dead. I know that character's dead. You know.
That's true, but then it became like so predictable again, where it was like, oh, this character is getting some lines, and they just like die in the same episode. Like it went to
like. Yeah, I've kind of noticed something they've done though. It's not a couple episodes before. I kind of noticed, like, I'm gonna take I hate to bring up Fear, but I'm gonna take Fear as an example. It's almost like now, instead of doing episodes like major focuses around characters, if they're gonna kill a character, it's like they lock you in with that episode, so you can't go do theories weeks after and all this stuff. It's like, okay, we're gonna get a Major John episode. He's going to die right in that episode. And we're not going to stretch this out so people can make theories for weeks. Like, he's going to get a lot of screen time and we'll kill him in the same episode.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay.
So, is there anything else in this episode?
I mean, we had we had the named characters survive, a whole bunch of extras die, good development from Carl, Herschel, some of the others.
Even Maggie was good this time around.
Yeah, the way she just like charged in and just went to like save her dad, and when she killed that guy who was a walker, like like, even though you can tell when you rewatch the scene that she was nervous because her dad was right there,
Man, even if she accidentally shot him, it's not like he would survive much longer anyway.
Hey
Ouch.
Brian. Hey
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
In a way, Lizzie actually kind of saved Glenn because she led that Walker away from the cell where Glenn was like passed out. So
That's
Lizzie
true.
did kind of save his life in a way.
It's true, but we don't know if she did it to save him or just, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know what reason, because like we knew that with Walkers and her, she didn't believe they were dead.
I just don't understand her long-term plan with that, though, with the Walker, because it's like, you can clearly see she's leading the Walker away from Glenn, which is good, but then she's like almost cornering herself, like where like the wall ends and she's about to like corner herself. I'm like, what is your long-term plan here? Like, jump over? Like, I just don't understand that part.
I don't think she thought that through.
No.
Man,
But like,
I know this is off topic
this
a little bit,
entire
but
episode
Brian,
is-
what did you think of Felipe's death in the mid-season finale?
oh, I got I got Carter vibes. Honestly, I'm just letting you know. Like, it's not bad. It's just like I'm like, really? Like, because I was just thinking, I'm like, I thought there was gonna be more with that character, you know? Because like, because the villain is coming, to the. I mean, I thought there was gonna be like a revenge storyline, you know?
Hey Brian.
Yeah.
How do you feel that next episode and episode 6 is when we get introduced to Tara?
Oh yeah. Wait. Wait. Are you saying? Oh yeah. That's true. Next episode, we get introduced to Tara with the governor flashback episode, which I don't know. It's kind of weird how they did it. I still think that they could have did both. They could have showed the governor in present time and then in past. Like, I think they could have. They didn't have to do a whole episode. You know what I mean? Just on his flashback, because like the flashback's not bad, but it's a little weird in some areas. Like how the governor. Do you guys remember how he was just like the governor walks like a homeless guy, or as a walker, and then the walker is coming towards him, and he just moves a little bit, and the walker just like trips, and it's like, really, like he just like he actually evaded a walker that easy. Like I don't know. That's like really funny to me, and also like how many memes that made. Like someone made a meme where the governor is dribbling a basketball and then like moves from the walker, like still dribbling the ball. Like, I don't know, it's funny. Like,
To me, that's like a perfect example of plot armor at its finest. That's something Dan would say. Plot armor at its finest.
Yep.
Do you guys think the governor should have died in season 3?
He probably should have at the end, honestly. But I'm not going to sit here and say the return wasn't amazing. I'm just saying that it would have made for a stronger end of season 3, to be honest.
Yeah. Season 3 finale was so bad. We
Yeah.
talked about that last
But
week.
I mean, if you didn't like Felipe's death, I totally understand and respect your opinion. But the reason why I'll say this right now, the reason why I killed him off was because I needed character development for Tara and Guillermo, because like you said, the revenge story is coming, and I needed character development for when that happen.
Did you bring back the Vatos in your reboot series?
I did, but Harlan came and literally killed all of them except for Felipe, Guillermo, and Tara, and now it's just those two now. So,
as far as his death, it just kind of feels like it just felt weird that a walker literally took him down. You know what I mean? Like, because like, because Felipe was way stronger than Dale, I would say, and even some people are like, okay, how did that walker tackle Dale? Which you can kind of believe, but still, like with Felipe, it just seemed a little more unbelievable to me. But like, I'm not. Oh, whoa, what was that? Guys, if you're not talking, please, or if there's background noise, can you guys mute your mic? Matt? Okay, thanks, Matt.
Brian. So, are we gonna do a stream on the Clementine comic, like when it comes out, or not the exact day?
Um, I don't know. I'll think about it. I probably will. I think we will talk about it. Not sure if it's going to be a whole stream or just
Mm-hmm.
uh like like half a stream, but we should definitely talk about it. Because Clementine lives. Like, you guys know how I feel about it. I am just not for it at all. Like,
Cause
unless
they're
it's done
not.
the right way.
I thought what they were gonna do is like if they were ever to make a show, I think if they how this is decision based again, I think they should choose the decisions most people did, but they didn't do that in the comics. Like I think like I don't even think AJ is gonna be in it because they didn't mention AJ and she's not even at the school anymore. She's with a whole bunch of other kids.
Yeah, I just
They're
hated that.
ripping off the
I
own
know.
stuff.
I hated that they're doing it like that because it makes Clementine look like a terrible character. Like, like, I mean, what kind of character just abandons the people that she sacrificed for, protected, built a home with? I mean, I'm not gonna say,
Hey, Brian.
yeah.
Me personally, this Clementine Lives comic, it's just a cash grab.
It is. I'm more excited for the Rick one myself, just because honestly, I miss comic Rick. Whereas with Clem, I'm going to be honest, guys. I think they should have just left her story.
Like, yeah, this
I
Clementine Lives comic and the Clem graphic novel next year, there's cash grabs.
They're
Yeah.
milking
I
it
mean, a
now.
lot of people were like, I'm not saying most people were crying and begging, don't end it, don't end it. They were like, we want a TV show, we want a comic. And now they gave it to us, everyone's mad about it. But I think they should have ended it where it was.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the
That defeats
reason
the
people are
purpose.
mad about it is because, they told us definitively that season 4 was like the end of Clem's story. So, in a way, people feel like they've been lied to.
I would have rather seen like a comic of like a character that went missing, like Molly or Chris. It's definitely Krista, like a comic about what he's been up to or whatever, instead of ruining Clem's story.
Yeah. As far as people wanting the Clementine Lives, I would have been okay with the comic if it was like, okay, they're showing her meet the Commonwealth, or at least some soldiers from the Commonwealth, and she talks to them, that sort of thing. And then she packs up, leaves. We don't see Violet or Lewis, but we see AJ in a little bit, and they all, we see them leave the school behind. Like, I would have been okay with that. But the fact that they're literally setting up the comic to where she leaves the school permanently, and then she goes to this ski lodge place with that Amish kid, like, I'm just like, what? This is not how the
It's
character
weird because
is.
they're technically ripping off themselves. It's literally they said there's going to be love conflict, the same thing. There's going to be kids, same thing.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Like, me personally, it,
Uh, sorry, I think you were saying.
Yeah.
me personally, I'm not getting this Clementine Lives comic. I'm just going to, pretend that it doesn't exist and that it's not canon. So,
Uh, yeah. The same with me. Like, as far as like, here's the thing: when they start going against the character, when they start doing something for money and they don't care about the characters or the lore or the story, then it's not canon. Like, that's exactly the same with me in the novels for the most part. I just, if it's full of contradictions and bad writing, then you can't consider it canon. And I know people wanted Clementine's story to continue after season 4. I know people begged, but if I was the writers, I would have said, guys, listen, it's over. Like, I know you want something to continue, but we told you would have to say goodbye. We ended it. We gave it a good ending, and that's it. It's over. But the fact that they actually decided to give the fans, here's the thing, they're giving the fans what they want, but in the worst way possible. I'd rather have Clementine's story end like this, good, than have her story go on like really long and it's terrible, you know?
I think, to be honest with you guys, I think you guys are gonna like how I'm gonna continue Clementine's story more than how they're doing it now. Because to be honest, I don't like how they're continuing her story now.
like, me personally, I think what people wanted and clamored for was they just wanted a new game with Clementine.
Yeah. Well, they obviously didn't. I guess they didn't understand what the fans were asking. So.
No, because they wanna ask for money. When I'm like, wait a second, like people like me, I'm like, wait a second, you gotta like at least take this back a second, because if you piss off the fans, then the fans are not gonna want more. Like for the people with The Last of Us, they didn't like The Last of Us 2, and now nobody wants more.
Okay, like in a way, it's kind of a similar situation with a Naughty Dog and Uncharted 4. Like Uncharted 4 was like the end of Nathan's story, and Naughty Dog actually stuck true to that. They never went back to that game or Nathan.
Yet they didn't stick with that with The Last of Us now, did they?
No.
Because they made The Last of Us 2 for money, and guess what? They had a shitty story that in my opinion was just pointless, because The Last of Us 1 ended really good. Like, why would you, like, if that's what I'm saying, it's if The Last of Us 1 ended in a really good note, why make a sequel? It makes no sense.
Well, people wanted a sequel, obviously, and it kind of made sense to do one, but just not how they did it. Like, I don't understand why they can't ask a fan. I don't understand why the writers don't ask a fan, have them sign a contract, and be like, okay, what do you think of this idea? And then get a second opinion. Like, the writers, they need to get a second opinion with the fans, because as soon as you hear this Clementine novel story, it sounds terrible. Like, it sounds absolutely terrible. Just like The Last of Us leaks. When you just hear the leaks, it's terrible. Like,
what's this
Hey,
novel story again? Like, she ditches AJ or something, I think.
yeah,
They're
Matt,
doing like
she's
3
gonna
books
ditch
on
AJ
Clementine.
and everyone.
Hey, Brian.
Oh, that's all over the place.
Yeah.
I mentioned it in your last stream near the end that when they first announced this Clementine graphic novel coming out in 2022, I was not happy.
Same. I wasn't either.
Oh, wait. That's not coming out this year.
Okay,
No,
Clementine.
the comic is, but the novel is only next year.
Oh wow, they're actually holding us off a whole year. That sucks.
So yeah, they're doing
It
a
really sucks. Like, what are you doing?
They're doing a Clementine Lives comic this month, and then they're making a Clementine graphic novel next year.
So
Then
it's
why
a
don't you
novel. So is it even gonna have pictures? Is it gonna be like a comic, or is it just gonna be like words on a piece of paper?
If it's words on a piece of paper, I'm not gonna buy it, because, like, really, you're gonna have. I don't know. I'm not a reader, so.
Me personally, I think it's going to be like the Walking Dead, like trade paperbacks, those type comics. I think it'll be like that, but still, I'm not getting it.
Oh, well, if it's like a trade paperback and you've got like pictures, if I at least get some sort of pictures, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. But if it's just like simply just words, then, oh man, honestly, you can get that out of my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it is just words, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, I wish they would just left Clementine's story and just left it alone.
They should have.
Yeah, they definitely should have.
I don't understand why. Here's the thing with The Walking Dead. Everyone keeps saying that they're sad that The Walking Dead is ending, but they're still milking it. I mean, they're still going to continue the story after they said it was going to end. Like, just like the games. They said Clementine's story was ending, then now they're doing this. The same with The Walking Dead show. They said that the main show's ending, but it's still going to continue through Daryl and Carol, to the Rick movies. Like,
Negan lives too.
Yeah, nothing
I
has
was going to say.
Nothing has changed, really.
Plus, Fear's still going to be going on for a while, so you're still going to have like Morgan and Dwight and all that. So, I mean, yeah, the main show's ending, but like, like,
if I was to
really
appear on Fear the Walking Dead, I would want to appear for a season, because that would give me the opportunity to work with say Elishma Carey, Colby Domingo. That would be one of the best experiences ever. Then
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is that Fear the Walking Dead's going to be on, like, literally, there's going to be a season 8. And the reason why I say that is because Season 7, you know full well would have been revealed as the last season by now. It's not. So they're literally going to have, which it hurts my brain to even say these words. Fear the Walking Dead is going to be on after The Walking Dead is over. That just baffles me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Hey,
just blew my
Brian.
mind.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. They are milking The Walking Dead too much. AMC is.
Because here's the thing, AMC, all they care about is money. In my opinion, they don't care about the fans, because if they cared about the fans, then they would have had All Out War in the show really good. It would have had the Whisper War and the Beta versus Negan fight really good. They would have never killed off Carl. They would have never killed off Andrea. They would have never hired idiots like Glenn Bizzara to showrun The Walking Dead, because look, we did with The Walking Dead season 3, a shitty season.
Hey,
And you want to know whose fault is that?
Hey,
AMC.
Walker
It's not
Dead.
even Scott Gimble's fault.
Hey, Walker Dead.
What's up?
I definitely agree with you that AMC, they really don't care about the fans, and they don't really care about the show either, because they don't give it a proper budget.
I mean, nobody, like, let's be real. I care about The Walking Dead. I care about my fans, and if they want to see something in my series, like they want to see a character, I'm like, yeah, let's. I'll see what I can do. I'll make it happen. I'm not like, oh, we're gonna have to wait and see. No, I'll actually be like, hey, let's. Like, okay, this guy suggested this character to be in my series. I'll see what I can do.
I'm not blaming The Walking Dead on AMC, to be honest with you. I'm blaming it on writers that just do not know what to do and how to treat their fans, because I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to name shows, but there are shows on AMC that definitely treats their fans well, whereas the writers, I'm sorry, I hate to point the finger at someone, but honestly, I think Scott Gimple is the biggest one to blame, because if it wasn't for the slow writing, which apparently for these movies that they're doing with Rick is still going on, I would be sitting in a darn movie theater right now watching Rick Grimes on the big screen. But guess what? I'm not. That movie is still being written. Like, come on, man.
Like at the same time, at the same time, you can't really blame Gimple for that, because I mean, like Andrew Lincoln, he's physically not allowed to leave the UK because of COVID lockdowns and stuff.
The thing about it is, though, is that the actress for Yumiko is in the UK as well, too. She has managed to make it back to the US to film the final season of Walking Dead. Lenny James and people like this. So, like, honestly, there is no reason why Andrew Lincoln can't come back. This is just all about slow writing for these movies, honestly.
I don't want them to take do it really fast, because if they write it super fast, it's gonna be bad. I want them to take a while, like maybe 2 years seems like a lot, but I just want this movie to be perfect, like the best thing I've seen.
We are
Like, I
breaching
want this
3
movie to
years,
be
though,
good
and we
too,
still
but
haven't
it
seen
has to be
anything.
good.
But yeah, it is taking too long. I mean, it doesn't take this long to write an episode, and the movie's only going to be, what, 2 hours? So that's only like 3 episodes.
And I think, well, it probably does have something to do with COVID, but Yumiko couldn't even come for like the bonus episodes. But I mean, why would she want to come for like one episode though? That would be dumb, I guess.
Well, she still would have come. It's just that they didn't, they weren't allowed back then, which that I'm not going to say anything about. That makes sense. The problem about it is that they have been writing, Scott Gimple has been working on this movie for almost 3 years. And then you could look at it and it's just like, okay, so he's still slowly writing this movie, but has time to release Dead in the Water, World Beyond, all these shows like really, really soon. And this movie is still just like, yeah, I'm still writing it. It's coming along. Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Really?
This is why he doesn't have time for the movies. He's doing all these other shows, or at least greenlighting them, and he's not making time for the movies.
I don't know something I think they should have did. I think what they could have did is they could have extended maybe season 11 a little bit longer, and maybe Rick could have came back, and then a few episodes they could have just showed what he's been up to or whatever instead of a movie. I've always thought that made more sense.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
in a way, like AMC milking The Walking Dead isn't a bad thing, because it kind of like gives us like a lot of content and gives us a lot to talk about.
It does. The problem about it is, though, is that, and this is where my problem lies with this, is that a good writer, I'm sorry, I don't think Gimple's a horrible writer. The guy's come up with some really good stuff. But the thing about it is, if he honestly genuinely cared, he would be like, okay, like, what do you guys want? Do you guys rather see the movie, the Rick Grimes movie, be completed, or would you rather watch a series called Dead in the Water about a dead character in Fear the Walking Dead that was there for like 4 episodes? Like, I'm sorry, the fact that he is making Riley more of a priority than Rick Grimes tells me, honestly, I don't mean to start a conspiracy, but tells me there's something else going on here that we don't know about. Like, there is another reason why he can't keep doing this movie.
I know it's just
because
weird.
he wants to be shady. He's a shady person. Like, not to cut anybody off, but he's a shady person. Like, think about it. He like, Morales came back. Like, the actor that played Morales, so from what I heard, he did an interview. He said he was so excited to come back to The Walking Dead, and he said he read the script, and he said he was disappointed for his character to come back for these 2 episodes just for him to get killed off in a second. That proves right there that Scott Gimple is somewhat of a shady person, because if Scott Gimple really cared about the people that want Morales back, they would have brought him back for the fans and did something with him in season 8.
I think what's weird is that the people who kept asking where I don't get how people liked Morales' character. He did nothing. Like, what was he? He didn't do anything, really. He wasn't a funny character. He wasn't an interesting character, but everybody wanted him to come back.
Hey guys,
Yeah, pick.
me personally, if I was writing The Walking Dead, I would have fired Gimple after season 8 and gotten rid of him, kicked him out.
If I was show writing The Walking Dead season 8, I would have done so much with Enid and Carl. You probably guys would have loved that. I would have done so much with Rick, Daryl. I would have done something with if I was show writing The Walking Dead seasons 8 and 9, you would have loved it. Way better than Scott Gimple and Angela Kang. Because if I was doing it, if I was doing it, it would be a different perspective. But you guys will probably be like, "Wow, this is actually really good."
I hope, and I also hope that.
Well, the only problem was season 8. Daryl was a reckless idiot and very frustrating to watch.
I hope.
Yeah, you can actually blame that on Scott Gimple, because Scott Gimple at that time was just shitting on the characters.
Yep, I'm gonna agree though. I think the one thing Angela Kang did right, Daryl may not like look too different, but at least Daryl in season 9 was actually like a decent character after a while.
Yeah.
I think the worst writing she's ever had was the bonus episodes, and that's not her fault because she didn't even want to do them, from what I've heard.
Which one?
I said the worst writing she's done is the bonus episodes, but I heard that she didn't even want to do them. AMC wanted her to do them.
That is so ridiculous. I mean, if the writer is literally like, guys, it's not going to work doing these episodes. Because they literally wrote season 11 already. And it's like, well, I can't kill off anyone from the cast. Not even Scott. And it's like, how can I do a decent episode with this? Like, you know?
Yeah, man. Someone should have died back on the tower episode, though, honestly. I think, that episode, season 10, episode 15, there should have been a tower death, man. And honestly, Walking Dead, like, that was your chance to kill off Scott.
Hey guys.
If I was killing off a character during that time, Scott would be the perfect character. Like, that would be his episode to shine, but it would be his episode to go. Like, it would be his last episode. And I would give him Father Gabriel's comic book death, and it would mean something. You guys would have. If I was doing The Walking Dead season 10, I would have Scott die.
Hey Brian.
And you guys probably would have loved it.
Hey Brian.
Oh, we would have. Yeah.
I know this is soft topic, but have you seen I Am Legend with Will Smith?
Yes, I have seen it. It's been a while, like years, but I have seen it. Yeah, why? Like, exactly.
I just wanted to know what you thought of it.
Small cast in the movie. The movie definitely could have used more characters. And oh my goodness, the dog. That I cannot watch that. Even thinking about that scene makes me cry.
I don't hope this, but I think y'all think Dog is gonna die.
Dog? Oh
If
no, I
he
don't think he's gonna
dies,
die.
then I'm gonna be pissed off
Oh
because,
no,
like,
Norman
really, you're
Reedus.
gonna kill him off?
They're not going to kill Dog. Dog's going to make it to the end of the final season.
Oh, so when do you guys think Connie is coming back? Like around what episode or?
1103, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying she's gonna come in like 11B. I would hate that, but 11-1, I wouldn't even be surprised if they brought her back in 11-1 or 2.
I think 11A definitely. She'll be back in 11A, but man, I still don't get it with the whole Virgil thing. It's like what? It's like who decided to come up with this character who kidnaps women and then drugs them? Like, it's like
Sounds like
like
the
I don't
Life
like
is Strange to me.
I know it
Man,
just. Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
Michonne should have
bro,
killed him. Is
really?
all I'm saying. Honestly, Michonne should have honestly put him down.
yeah.
Michonne, that made Michonne look like an idiot because really, like, okay, you got this guy that drugged you and who was willing to kill you, and you're not going to kill him? That's ridiculous. That just made Michonne look like an idiot. That's one of the biggest flaws I have in her final episode. Like, really, you're not going to kill this guy?
Well, technically, it's actually the writer's fault. The writers just decide to, like, I don't know why they decide to freaking give her such a bad exit.
I know, I know that, but I'm like, to be honest with you guys, it just made the character look
I bet what they were
retarded,
trying
and I didn't like that.
I think I thought this would have been. I think they were probably thinking maybe they could do the same thing they did with Rick, but that would have been repetitive, so they couldn't really think of anything else. So they just came up with this.
They
Hey,
should have had
Brian.
CRM. They should have had
Hey,
CRM be
Brian.
involved.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Do you think Virgil is the main reason why her exit episode is bad?
It's one of the reasons I would say because with the Virgil character, what he does, it just makes him not only a bad character, but he kind of ruins Michonne too, because just the way that she actually the fact that he got through to her and that she doesn't kill him, it's like, oh, I hate him even more now. Like that's
Like, bro.
like he taints the character. That's how bad he is. But then also, like, towards the end, what Michonne sees all those cowboys and then those people who are like, they're going to leave without us. And then she decides, like, to go with them. And it's like, it turns out they're not even the pioneers. It's like, why does she go with them? Like, she doesn't
It's
even ask, who are
ridiculous. Like,
you?
really, that just made her stupid.
Like, she doesn't even ask, who are you?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to, like, elude that, that group that we see at the end of that episode was supposed to, like, lead her to Rick or something.
Man, the CRM changed their style things. They look like a bunch of Western guys. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, it's just weird.
Yeah, like in Fear. Like, I thought it was the pioneers, but it's just another cowboy group in the zombie apocalypse. Like, it's weird.
It's you guys remember the theory I had back in the day? It was like the pioneers, like, what if they survive all this time? Morgan has, like, taken over this group and, like, they're, like, all the way out there. Man, was I ever off about that?
Me personally, I don't think it is the pioneers because it wouldn't make sense for them to all of a sudden be in the Virginia area.
Well, no, this is before I saw 6B. I was, like, starting to say that, but no, now it's like, man, it's just another, like, Western looking, like, there's too many of those now, if you ask me.
There's too many groups. There's too many groups. They gotta tie them in better. Epic. The reason that I thought it was the pioneers was because Fear, it was going around the same time, and then we were also thinking, like, guys, what if those are the pioneers, but then we're going to see in Fear how it eventually leads up to that scene where they meet Michonne. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it could still be that. Like, I heard someone say in the last stream that it could be like when Strand becomes a villain, that could be his group, which would be interesting.
Well, like, yeah, it still doesn't make sense how they would be in the Virginia area.
That's true.
I mean, Strand becoming a villain still makes no sense because if they were to make him a villain, the season would have been season 2, and the fact that they didn't do that back then,
he technically was
that was fine. But now they want to have him as a villain all of a sudden. Like, really? I'm like, that makes no sense. I'm like, if somebody was gonna be the villain in Fear the Walking Dead season 7, it should have been Riley. And I know Dan will probably be like, yeah, he should have been the villain.
I mean, there's nothing else that, because honestly, I'm never forgiving Strand. Strand has backstabbed the people who saved his life plenty of times, back and forth, back and forth. I'm not giving him another chance. They either need to turn him into a villain or kill him off.
I think they're
I
going
mean, if
full villain.
Madison
I
comes
think that's what
back,
the end
if
of
Madison
season
comes-
6 is setting up for.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fear, how do you feel about Fear the Walking Dead, like going past the main show?
I hate it, honestly. I don't like it. The way Fear is going, um, I think Fear should end around the same time as the main show because I want them to set up the characters for the movies. Like, I just feel like they said that this whole thing, it was all converging into the movies. Like, the movies are the end game. Like, AMC said that. But if the characters in Fear aren't in the movies, well, then what's the point of the CRM references?
I think
What's the point of the
season 8
cameos?
should be the last season.
Like,
Or
That-
season 7 or 8. 8 should
that's-
definitely be the final season.
That still means that like season 8, think about that. Season 8's still going to be coming out after the main show is done. So it's like, honestly, for me, I think season 7 should have been the last season. Plus, I actually genuinely think I would have been hyped if season 7 was the last season because you'd get like CRM at the end of the season. You would get like the Strand like kind of like villain moment with Howard. It'd be like, okay, so this is the final season. Strand going crazy, CRM potentially connecting into the movie. Like at that point, you would actually have a lot of things to get like excited for.
yeah, I totally agree.
If I was doing the final season of my Fear the Walking Dead reboot series, how would you want it to go?
Randy, you set up this elaborate parade to cover eating 7 cheeseburgers. You eat 7 cheeseburgers. Randy, you promised me that would never happen again.
Matt, can you mute your mic?
Microphone.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Sorry, who was talking?
It was me.
Okay, go ahead.
Nah, what I was saying was to you guys, if I was doing the last, like if season 7 of my Fear the Walking Dead reboot series is the final season, which it is, what would you guys want to see in it? Like, what would you guys want to see?
Well, one thing is the Fear has done terrible with the CRM connections. You know what I mean? As far as like tying it in, because like we can't. It's just weird. The CRM, they're supposed to be. I'm okay with them being in the background somewhat, but when you have characters see the helicopter and then like almost all of them never question it again. Like Morgan, Alicia, they just don't question a helicopter ever again after seeing one in season 5. It's like that doesn't make sense to me. Like they never try to find out who that group is. You know, it's like it's just weird. Like, what do you guys think? Yeah, I definitely think Fear season 7 should set up the characters going into the movies or something like that. Like maybe they also find out that the CRM is planning to wipe out their community, or maybe some of their communities do get wiped out. They find other people who have similar problems, and then eventually it leads into the movies. That's what I would like to see.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. Fear going past the main show isn't a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, for my CRM, the CRLM, I mean, are you guys hyped to see what I do with that going forward in my Walking Dead universe?
I mean, I'm kind of. It's just that I don't know, because I know you have that like the Hazard character. So
The Hazmat Man.
I'm sorry, what?
Not a Hazmat Man. That's his name.
Oh, okay. So I guess like I do hope you keep some of the things similar. Like the CRM is like they wear black and they do believe they're the last hope in the world, the last light kind of thing.
I will do that.
Yeah, because they are obviously like they are an interesting group of villains because of how powerful they are, and how, if you think about it, it's like, yeah, like they are the end game for The Walking Dead. I personally feel like, you know, having 200,000 people in a city, like, I mean, how can I not be interested in that? So like, I hope you keep all that the same. Like who knows? Maybe they have facilities where they not only like, I mean, they kind of mentioned that in World Beyond, but like imagine if it's darker, like facilities where they take people. Like we get to see how they like re-brainwash their soldiers, just all of this stuff. I mean, they could go way further into it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
Speaking of the final season, how do you feel about all the new shots they've been showing of Mercer?
Pretty good. Pretty excited. I still don't know if I can call it red armor or orange armor, because it looks red in certain shots. So I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, I just gotta say, he looks very comic accurate.
Yeah, he does. I'm glad about that.
Yeah. Brian, I know this is off topic, but what do you think of Yumiko and Lydia being patients of the Hazmat Man? What do you think about that?
Kind of a big coincidence that that the characters are gonna see those characters in like season 8 or 9 of your series. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna appear in your show around the same time. It's like, but it is interesting. I will say, because like you said that they don't know it. You know what I mean? So it is kind of.
Yeah,
I
they
think
don't
it
remember.
is. Yeah. I think it's
Yeah, like they don't
interesting.
remember being kidnapped at all.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, but like there's so much mystery. I cannot say much else. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
don't know. All right, guys. Another 10 minutes, and I have to end the stream.
You are. You are.
Okay, so we got 10 more minutes, guys.
Yeah.
If you guys want to talk about anything.
How do you think? How do you think Rick, Herschel, and Glenn will get out of the situation with the liver?
Ken, if you're not can you mute your mic if you're not talking, or if there's too much outside noise? I mean, you're okay right now, but just letting you know. Okay, so I don't know. It's just the CRM. I know some people don't want them involved too much. Like I think like Rowdy, he doesn't like them that much. But honestly, like I feel like what they've done with the CRM is just there's no going back with it. They have to show us, what's with this group and everything. Because if not, then it's like, well, what's the point? you know?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I know it's off topic, but how do you feel about the Scream movies?
Oh, the Scream movies?
Yeah.
I've never seen them. I hate them.
Yeah.
They're lame.
Are you big in the slashers?
What?
Are you big in the slasher movies like Friday the 13th, Halloween,
no.
Elm Street?
That's Ronnie. That's Ronnie, not me. I'm not into those kind of movies.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, congrats on almost getting to 100 live streams.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's I might have to go back and redo some live streams, but
what you can do for live stream 100?
I think I've already mentioned this a couple times. I want to do a stream about Extinction. Just like go over the first 2 seasons and talk about what I plan for season 3 and possibly the future of the series. So yeah, just like an Extinction stream, I would say. So if you guys do join me for live stream 100, yeah, you might need to catch up on the story, because we're not going to talk about it the whole time, but we're definitely going to I would say talk about it.
Hey, Brian.
What, guys? Hold on, Epic. What'd you say, Walker Dead?
My bad, I'm Hunter. No, I was asking was how do you think Herschel, Glenn, and Rick will get out of the situation with the livers?
I think we're gonna have a bar fight similar to the show, but I also think we might get, since we have so many characters on the farm, I think we might get some characters decide to check. They go into town to see what's taking them so long. So I think we could see something like that.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know
Brian.
you didn't like Felipe's death, but I mean, the reason I chose him to die was for the revenge story on Tara and Guillermo to go for further, and for Tara to get character development because I need that character development for the second half. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Epic.
So, would you consider The Walking Dead season 11 to be like the biggest season of the whole franchise?
Well, it's gonna be 24 episodes, so yeah. In terms of length, it's definitely the longest. But I just don't know how comic accurate and how good it's going to be to the fans. Because like, let's be honest, guys, we like season 11. This is it's gonna be hard to pull this off. Because like, I mean, there's no Rick, Michonne, Carl. You know, there's so many characters gone. Like, yeah, we have Maggie, Daryl, and Carol, but we're not gonna have a lot of depth in season 11. I don't think so. I just don't know how they're going to end season 11 in the main show well enough to where the fans like it, but also they want to set up the other shows and spin-offs.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Like, I find it crazy that ever since like season 8, you know, like they just stopped following the comics. They've been following the comics since seasons 1 to 6, but then season 7 and 8, they just completely stopped following the comics.
Yeah.
I mean, when Angela Kang, I mean, she killed Enid, and I'm like that hurted a big part of the show because Enid, in a way, was comic book Sophia in the Walking Dead TV series, but since Maggie came back, they didn't even mention the heads on the spikes, and I'm like, that just made the heads on the spikes in the show pointless because, like, really, you're not gonna mention that?
Hey, Brian, how do you feel about that? That, you know, like ever since season 7 and 8, they just stopped following the comic storyline.
I mean, I don't like it. There are some things I admit that should be changed from the comic, but when you go off too far from the source material, sometimes we see that the writers, when they do their own stuff like Oceanside and the Junkyard and the hospital group, that they mess up horribly. You know, like I mean, yeah, like it's clear at times they don't know what they're doing when they try to create their own stuff. I think they're good at adapting it, but when they don't adapt it and they try to do their own stuff, then they burn big time. So,
You know, like, because they followed the comic source material from season 1 all the way to season 6, but then after that, they just stopped.
yeah, I totally agree. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to get off your mind or chest before we end the stream? Because I'm ending the stream in a couple more minutes.
Yeah. What number would you rate season 2 episode in my Walking Dead reboot series? Like, what would you rate it?
I would say 9 out of 10. It like the Felipe death, like it's not terrible. It's just it was a little bit like I don't know. It's just I don't feel like he was the right character to me personally, but also how he died. I kind of expected that death like later in the season because like we just had the barn massacre and then this happens and I'm just thinking I'm like I don't know. I thought it was like just a little bit much. Yeah. I mean sorry. I think episode 9 not 9, sorry, 8 ended well with Harlan, but then we had that last moment. And then like also I don't think Daryl and Felipe were like that close. So I don't know. I feel like Dale's was kind of better, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope that Fear season 7, I hope they do like a time jump because of the radiation. But I hope Dwight and Sherry could go back to the show and maybe Sherry could get her comic death. I don't really remember what happened exactly, but she does want to kill Negan, so that would be cool for her to come back and then see that Negan's out and try to kill him. And she ends up getting killed. But I do want Dwight back in the normal show.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want
don't
him to
know.
get his death. I think he should outlive. I think he should live till the very end.
you know what's
Hey,
funny? Imagine
Brian.
wait, you know what's funny? Imagine Negan just being like, okay, what's with these beautiful women always trying to kill me like a decade later after I did a thing against them? You know what I mean? It's like Maggie and then now Sherry. It's like I haven't seen you guys in like a decade. You know, it's
Sherry
Hey,
like
really has
Brian.
no reason to try to kill him because he never really did anything that as bad as he's done to other people. Like Maggie has a reason to want him dead. Sherry doesn't really, because kind of forcing her to be his wife. Yeah, that's bad. But as long as she didn't get killed now Dwight got his face burned, so I guess that makes sense. Never mind.
Hey, Brian.
okay. Yeah, Epic. Last question, and then I really have to end the stream.
Do you think the Walking Dead TV show would have been better if they just stuck to the comic material?
Sticking more to the comic, yes, 100%. They don't, and what I mean by that is they don't have to stick to the comics 100%, but the show 100% would be better if they stuck a little bit more to the comics. I totally agree.
Yeah, Gimple, I don't know what he was thinking, just like diverting fully away from the comics, killing Carl, killing Sasha, all that BS that he did in season 7 and 8. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, me either, man. All right, guys.
Sasha's death is
Yeah.
the most shocking.
Oh wait, before I go, I wanted to ask you one last question. What did you think of the scene where all the livers were lined up in that scene in season 2, episode 8 of my Walking Dead reboot series?
Oh, the livers lined up. I was getting like Negan flashbacks.
Yeah, when they're all in that straight line.
Yeah, it's like, man, really?
I did that part in my episode. Like, wow, they're actually lined up and they're no game. Like either you do what this guy says or you're gonna die.
Totally, man. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great Monday. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.